Hello students, today in class we talked about the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula looks like this. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. As we said in class, you need to memorize this. Like pretty immediately. By tomorrow would be great. Okay, so the way that this works is if we have a quadratic in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, okay, then a, b, and c can be substituted into the quadratic formula. So in this example, this 12 is on the right side of the equal sign, so we need to bring it back over to join the party with everybody else. So x squared minus 2x minus 12. Well, in each of these places, you can see I could put that 1 there. B would be negative 2, and C would be negative 12. So in the quadratic formula, we simply substitute what we know. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So here we go. Negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 12 all over 2 times 1. And again, I got those numbers from A, B, and C. And then let's start simplifying. A negative 2 would just be a positive 2 plus or minus the square root. Well, negative 2 squared is 4. And then I'm going to just bring this negative sign down for a minute. So I'm going to do all this. Treat 4 as a positive. So 4 times 1 is 4, times negative 12 is negative 48, and negative 48 would be plus 48. And then 2 times 1 is 2. Simplifying even more, 2 plus or minus the square root of 48 plus 4 is 52 over 2. Now here we're going to do a little side work. So I'm going to take the square root of 52. I'm going to pull it over here for some side work. Now, I could do this as a decimal approximation, but remember, anytime that we take the square root of a non-perfect square, we're going to get just an approximation. And every time we do that, we lose some accuracy. So instead of doing that on the calculator, I'm going to think of what are factors of 52, one of which would be a perfect square. Okay, so I could do 2, but 2 is not a perfect square, so 2 times 26 wouldn't work. 4 is a perfect square, and 52 is 4 times 13. So I'm going to change this to the square root of 4 times 13, and then the square root of 4 is 2, so I can bring that out to get 2 times the square root of 13. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to say 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 13 divided by 2. And finally, treat this plus or minus. So this is 2 terms on the top. So I'm having to divide both terms by the 2 on the bottom. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So my final answer is x equals 1 plus or minus the square root of 13. Now, if we wanted to use this to graph, which is what we solve for x anyway, to find our x-intercepts, also called the zeros of the function, then we would have to do a decimal approximation to graph. Okay, we did several other examples in class, but for time's sake on this video, I will only do one other example. I'm going to go do number 4 in lesson 11. Okay, for number 4, I'd have to rewrite 2y squared plus 3y. Here I would get that 4 to the left side, so I'd get minus 9. So A is 2, B is 3, and C is negative 9. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Let's substitute in what we know. So b is 3, so negative 3 plus or minus the square root. 3 squared is 9 minus, see, 4 times 2 is 8 times negative 9 is negative 56, but then we're going to, a negative would be plus 56. All over 2 times 2 is 4. And this one's going to turn out rather nicely because 9 plus 56 is not 64. I made a calculation error somewhere. Let's see. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times, aha. Did you see my mistake here? That is not 56. Oh, what a Monday it is. That's not 56 at all. We're going to end up with 81 there. My mistake. So let's see. Again, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times negative 9. Positive 2. There we go. Now we can get 81 out of that. And again, divide by 4. Okay. And so we know the square root of 81 is a perfect square. So that's going to be negative 3 plus or minus 9 over 4. So solving it 2 ways. X equals negative 3 plus 9 divided by 4. X equals negative 3 minus 9 divided by 4. So let's see, negative 3 plus 9 is 6/4, which reduces to 3 over 2. And then negative 3 minus 9, that's negative 12 divided by 4, gives me a negative 3. So here x equals 3/2 or negative 3. Be sure and check Google Classroom for any homework assignment involved in a quadratic equation. Again, this is Module 4, Lesson 14. Have a great day.